All right, good now, right now, wherever and whenever you are. It's Daryl as a service, and I'm here with Alex Fields. Welcome, Alex.
Yo.
Know something, show something. This theme that we're trying to get across is for you. If you know about how to connect people with different working from home tools and technologies, then share it so people can have those questions answered and be productive and stay in touch. Alex, the one that we're going to cover off right now is around audio conferencing and how we can enable that for Teams. Why has that become a popular question?
Yeah, that is. It's been a big ask this week for us. So, at the company that I work for, Success Computer Consulting, we've been getting a lot of that from our customers. They've maybe previously had Teams in their environment, but they, haven't been using any of the audio features, and so they're asking like, "Hey, can I get a dial-in number so that I can have people maybe who don't have Teams or who aren't going to be able to get in front of a computer and get onto a remote session with the client or something? Could they still dial in, and get access to a conference bridge and be on the Teams meeting with everyone else?" And so it's a pretty common request that we're seeing, and we've been busy at work setting up a lot of people with that already this week. So
Yeah, yeah. I definitely see that request there for those with low bandwidth or who want to improve that audio experience. They will need to dial in sometimes to be able to be part of that call. Now, when we look through it quickly, and you have had a friend that's been enabling this all day, there are a few steps that seem to be quite easy, and then there's something of a pause in part of that service as it's been enabled. So you could tell us a little about what happens there.
yeah, and so as far as setting it up, it's pretty easy to do because really all you have to do is add a license to your tenant, and then assign that license to whoever needs to be able to host that dial-in conferencing number, right? So that part's the simple part, but it does take some time for the service to provision that number. It seems like right now the delays are probably a little bit longer than they normally are. I'm guessing because there's so many people signing up on the service.
Yeah.
And so even though like the user will get an automated email like really quickly and we can show what that looks like, but there'll be a phone number in there for them to use and like a pin that they can, like a moderator pin that allows them to start up a meeting.
Right.
But it's not available right away. Even though you get the email quickly, it's not actually functional. And so we're seeing that there's a delay of a few hours in some cases. So like if you are going to go set this up and maybe assign a license to a few people who have that capability, then just know that it may not be available right away. Maybe try the next day in some cases, just to be sure that it's working.
Great. Okay. Well, I'll start off by showing where people can get started with Teams to begin with. We do have a place where Microsoft have been making it available that you can get Teams for free. So they are making it available for everyone. And so if you go along to products.office.com/Microsoft Teams /free, then that will get you through to the page, or just search for Microsoft Teams free in your favorite search engine. So once that's spun up, I know that Alex, you're going to show us a little of the setup process in the background, and then we'll cut back to me where I can show what that experience is like once it's enabled for you. So feel free to share your screen now.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look here. This one, can you see this yet? Let me know when you can see it.
It's coming on through, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So I just went to the 365 Admin Center here. This is just the common management interface here, and I just went to Billing, and then I'll click on Purchase Services. It takes us to this screen. The audio conferencing features, if you don't already have E5, if you have E5, if you're one of those folks who has a license ending in 5, you probably already have the audio conferencing features built in. They do have a flavor that comes without that, as you can see. But if you just go down to the bottom and find add-ons, then it'll be in the add-ons section. So here we can find it, Microsoft 365 audio conferencing. In the United States, it's like $4 per user per month, and I believe I believe that it's like $1.60 if you're a nonprofit. So
you had some advice around that, like we wouldn't necessarily have to enable everyone in the org to be setting up audio conferences.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So if you would need benefit from this service, then you should be licensed for the service. And um, that means that like if there's a few people in the organization who need to have that functionality, who need to be able to start meetings up and uh, you know be the moderator for that meeting, then those are the folks who should be licensed first for that service.
Meeting organizers, really, hey? Meeting organizers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meeting organizers, exactly. And then after that, it's just as easy as like, assigning it to an active user. So you just come into your users list, you click on a user like, here, I got myself, and then I just assign the license to myself under the licensing. Just check, save, and like almost immediately after I did that, I actually did receive, this email that's like, it's got a phone number and a PIN and stuff like that I can use. But like I said, it's like I did that maybe like an hour ago, and it's still not available for me yet. So
that's enough to get the service stood up. I know that when we were looking through some of the manual steps, that there were a few things to do. Does it look like those things are enabled once you license and buy that service?
Yeah, it's turned on by default, and so that's a good point. There's a article out there on the docs page. It's like how to set up audio conferencing, and it goes through several things. There's going to be a bunch of defaults in place for you, so you don't have to really do anything. But like, let's say you wanted to change your number, so it'll just assign a number for you, and it assigned a number for me that's like in our area code that I live in. But if I wanted to like have an 800 number or something, or some other number available to me, I would have to go into the portal and make those changes myself. Or if I wanted to change my PIN, for example, or something to that effect. Any customizations that you want to do, you would have to go do. But out of the box, it does work pretty seamlessly as far as, it'll provision some defaults for you.
Yeah, that's right. There's the article there from docs.com. So you'll be looking for set up audio conferencing for Microsoft Teams. So a few steps there. But yeah, as Alex said, once it is licensed, it does seem to do a lot of those steps for you. So between that time when the dial-in number is provisioned for you, which we see some delay, once it is enabled, let me just take you through quickly what that looks like for someone who is organizing a meeting. This is in a demo tenant, and within Microsoft Teams, we'll go into that experience. Some of you might be used to organizing meetings within Outlook, so we will go through that experience too. But within Teams, once you have that available, and if you have your mailbox in Office 365, you can go through to your calendar, and that's the calendar app on the left-hand rail. And when you set up your meeting, so choose a meeting slot, for example, and all the usual details. We'll add in Alex because we know he was in this demo tenant earlier. A good agenda of ASDF for demos. And there we go. We've got a meeting organized, and it adds the toll-free number and a conference ID at the end of that meeting invite, which you can do within Teams. Same experience when you go into Outlook, and this is just Outlook on the web, your Outlook calendar. If you've installed Microsoft Teams on your desktop, then Outlook is also going to present you a Microsoft Teams button where you can create a Teams meeting. So within the Outlook web experience, choose your time slot. You can click more options to go to that fuller experience of creating the meeting invite. We'll go with a different title here again. And whoops, Alex. And then we use this switch here to make it a Teams meeting. Simple as that. You won't see the details just yet till you send the meeting invite. So we'll go through there and give you peace of mind that happens. And I'll go back into our meeting. Go and edit. And you'll see there's the toll-free number, the dial-in number that you can use to call, and your conference ID. So that's the end user experience once it's provisioned. thanks, Alex, for helping us talk through and demonstrate that. This is going to be valuable information for organisations who are trying to provide the dial-in capabilities into a Teams meeting. And yeah, we'll see you again. Thanks for that tip. We'll keep in touch as we try and share, know something, then show something with the community. Bye for now.
See you there.